This is quite serious. Cyclone Biparjoy is turning out to be quite a spectacular storm, and that's a rare sight in the Arabian Sea because this sea has historically not been home to very strong cyclonic activity. But in recent years that's changing, no doubt due to climate change. Scientists have noted that cyclones in the Arabian Sea are now picking up in duration, frequency and intensity. And as a result, for quite some time, I have been warning Pakistan about the increasing risk to the nation from this intensifying cyclone hazard. Starting in 2020 with my vlog, Pakistan is now under serious risk of cyclones, followed a short while later by my blog, Cyclone Preparedness is an Urgent Need for Pakistan. Now in my vlog, I stated that we better start preparing for the increasing cyclone hazard now because the more time we have to prepare, the better we can prepare. Well, we certainly clearly haven't been doing that since then, and now it's putting us in a very bad situation because of this storm which is heading right towards Pakistan. It is not going towards Karachi according to its current trajectory, but it is heading towards the area where the coasts of Pakistan and India meet, and it's going to affect all the regions around this point. And that's quite serious because a lot of vulnerable places in Pakistan are in the path of the storm, such as the cities of Thatta and Badin, which are always very vulnerable because they lie on the banks of the Indus River near the coast, and this part of the river often overflows during storms in the sea or high sea levels, and so it's very easy for the storm surge from the cyclone to travel up and affect those two cities. We must also watch out for the brown ocean effect, in which if the cyclone travels over land, it might still maintain its strength or even intensify despite no longer having access to the ocean because of high and moisture content in the soil and warmth in the soil, which evaporates and feeds the cyclone. Now that apparently happened to Cyclone Taute in 2021, the last severe cyclone to make landfall in this region. And perhaps it could happen to Cyclone Biparjoy as well, especially because if it penetrates the lower reaches of the Indus Basin, there is a lot of moisture there, especially since the floods of last year, in which there's still a lot of water left over, and that could be enough to contribute to a major brown ocean effect and help the cyclone to maintain its strength if it continues going inland, in the chance it continues going inland in Pakistan. We don't know where the storm is heading. It seems to be heading here according to this trajectory. This is by the Weather Underground again. It could head here. This is the cone of uncertainty, but who knows if it changes that path and instead heads here and goes inland over Sindh, where it could do all kinds of damage to communities reeling from last year's catastrophic floods. We could also see very dry and warm winds in places like Karachi because the cyclones, they blow wind counterclockwise in the northern hemisphere. Here you can see these winds. They could blow winds from the interior of the continent towards these coastal areas of Pakistan. Now, weather forecasters, weather trackers, they say the storm currently has sustained winds of 90 miles per hour, plus the ability to generate high waves. It has weakened. Before it was an extremely severe cyclonic storm. Now it's just a severe cyclonic storm. So it is weakening, but it is affecting it is heading towards a rather vulnerable area, and who knows what could happen. It might head straight deep into India and mostly spare Pakistan, or it could turn towards Pakistan, and it could have all sorts of effects because in spite of all the attempts of the authorities to prepare, this is a vulnerable region, and maybe, who knows, maybe it could even make a sharp turn, an unexpected turn towards Karachi, and there the impact could be catastrophic. But the point is, this is a major threat, and we got to do everything we can to prepare for it. The authorities have given their guidelines, but there is a lot more that they need to make clear. For example, they should tell people to take refuge in higher ground, to head to higher ground, and to pack and to take waterproof clothing. I guess most people in Pakistan don't have that in this part of Pakistan, but things like raincoats and rubber boots should be provided to them, or they should do what they can to make makeshift waterproof clothing, like out of plastic bags. There is a lot that people have to do. In 2021, Cyclone Taute killed between 100 and 200 people, and that was because of all the attempts to evacuate in India and Pakistan. That's still a high death toll, and there's a very high chance that a similar death toll will appear here in both Pakistan and India. But which nation has the biggest share of it, we don't know. So anyway, we got to brace ourselves and let this cyclone be a wake-up call that there will be many more like it coming in this new age of climate change. And so Pakistan needs to adapt. It cannot go on the way it normally does. It has to adapt its coastal areas to the rising threat of cyclones, and to do everything it can to make its people in this part of the nation more resilient.